start today's proceedings.
Thank you.
I shall be failing in my duties if I cannot express my sincere thanks to all those participants, organizers, executive committee members, our mentors, and of course, the upcoming speakers of this event. Before I may proceed, I want to just introduce myself. I'm Dr. Khurshid, and I'm managing the teaching activities in the Department of Public Administration, Government Degree College, Tangmarg, Srinagar, Kashmir. So, my area of specialization is public administration and public policy. So, I think you might be aware today we have two speakers to our credit, those who can start their
Got him, madam.
proceeding on the topic. I request all participants, please keep their mics off so that there should be hassle-free discussion on the proposed topic. Please, I request all participants. So, in the first section, today we have Dr. Iman Alam. She's a global ambassador of climate change, professor by profession, researcher, and she has published many books, papers, and of course, she has presented various conferences, seminars, and webinars. She will be delivering a topic on thesis writing, planning, and instructions. But before that, I can request all participants for questions and answers. Please have a pen and paper. Just mention your questions, and you will be allowed to the time for your queries and answers. So, without taking too much of time, I will request Dr. Iman Alam to start her proceedings. Over to you, Dr. Iman Alam.
Hello and Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and good afternoon, good evening according to your country. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am. Please proceed.
Yes, thank you very much. This is Iman Allam. I'm from Botany and Microbiology Department, Faculty of Science, Al Azhar University, and I am Vice President of Biosciences Research Support Foundation. Today, I'm very happy to be with you in your faculty training program. It's my honor to be with you. Thanks for all organizers and thanks for my dear sister for inviting me. First of all, we will talk together about thesis writing and the planning and some instructions related to thesis. And let's go. To start, we need to know what is a thesis equation. We have different parts and different chapters inside our thesis. It will start by title in the cover page and then followed by abstract and introduction and review of literature and methodologies and results and the discussion and the conclusion and the summary and references under the supervision, wisdom, and under the students' activity. We will have an excellent thesis. Let's start by title. The title must express the work totally in brief words, total ideas and total results and so on. We need to do a simple test to check our title. We need to add some words to check if it will accept. It means that this title is shorter than what is required. Also, we need to try to omit or delete some words. If it will accept deletion, it means that you have some extra unneeded words. This is a test that we can do, and the title must be not more than 10 words or according to what is required. We need to arrange our necessity. It must be also informative and identifies our work, and also it must be targeted and to the point. Less but of suitable words are better than many misleading words. It must be enough for the identification of the work. What about abstract? Abstract must contain attractive words and brief words, but of great values. It must be strongly formed. We need to arrange it in a strong formation manner. It must be targeted and to the point, and it must represent our data shortly. All ideas and all methodologies and all results in a mini paper. Abstracts looks like mini paper. We are trying to do the abstract in brief words. We are using brief words. We can count words and we can delete and add according to what is required in our thesis. We need to conclude our work. It is compact, complete, mini paper. It must be targeted and to the point again. So we need to do our abstract as targeted and to the point. I hope my voice is still clear. Okay. So what about introduction? The introduction will introduce our work to readers. It must be not too short and not too long and boring. So medium size is better. It must be targeted and to the point. We need to renewable ideas, and we need to rephrase our sentences to fit our work. For example, if you are using something related to other researchers, we need to do something called rephrasing. We are not using phrases as it is. We need to add our sense. We need to be ourselves. So we are not allowed to do copy and paste. We are doing cheating. If we will copy and paste, we are cheating others. We need to organize our data in order to show its scientific value. In introduction, we are doing a documentation of every written word. So documentation must be done. It's useful review, followed by the introduction of your target in the work, shortly ended by the target and the aims and so on. There is a difference between introduction and review of literature. Inside introduction, we are doing useful review, but it must be ended by target and aims. But in review of literature, we are doing something like a survey, only survey. But in review of literature, we are not saying anything about our aims, our targets. It's for introduction only. It must be compact and complete review of literature must included in it. It will tell us what is done in past against what we wanted to do in future. So introduction connected the past with the future, with the present in the running work to reach to the future. It must be informative also. Observation of what is already done by other researchers to determine the aim, the main aim of the presented work. It's very important to have a target. We are not doing thesis only for upgrading. We need to do to have a target. We need to be ourselves. Okay, so neglection of pioneers equal complete ignorance. If there is no past, there will no future. It's very important to appreciate others. It's very important to refer to each one you are using in your introduction or review of literature. We need to mention, we are not allowed to ignore anyone. If I am using any word related to any person, I must refer to this person in a very appreciative manner. What is appreciation in this case? In this case, it must refer by complete identification in the chapter of references. So we need to appreciate scientists because we are appreciating their efforts. So we need to refer to their names and the year of publication inside the chapter of introduction, and also same in review of literature. A review of all previous related works to the study. It is arranged in an ascending or descending manner inside the review of literature. For example, I'm working in the area of phytochemistry and medicinal plants. I can say this plant is very important because of the presence or due to the presence of many secondary metabolites. It's okay. Also, I can say due to the presence of some secondary metabolites like 1, 2, 3, and so on, this plant is very important in the area or in the field of medicine. I can do it in ascending or ascending manner. The most important thing is that inside a review of literature, we are referring to all important things and related things. For example, when I am doing paper or thesis about cell suspension culture of tomato, for example, as a medicinal plant or as the um, phytochemical paper or phytochemical study. I need to say, for example, phytochemical composition of tomato. No need to say that it's edible plant. It's logically known. So we need to refer to the most important new information, not anything only to make maximum number of words. No, we are using the VIP words. What about methodology? Methodology means materials, methods, ethics, efforts, estimation, establishment of future. It's very important to focus on ethics. We are not doing science for upgrading, as I said before. So we must carry our ethics in our hearts, and also it must be translated in our research work. So we need to uh, stick to ethics of scientific research during the running work. It's very important that we need to know that during the thesis we are trying to establish our future. So we need to think to modify, not to repeat. We are not a copy of others. We must have our unique attitude. We must have our unique fingerprint in science. So we must be different. We must try to be a different person. We must be better than before. We need to trust ourselves during the work. We need to try and error to learn. No learning without trying. We need to try, then error, then try, then try and try and try to avoid error in the future. Also, we need to tolerate all hard conditions and low facilities. Some places has structures, low infrastructures inside lab, and also low facilities. We need to be tolerant people. We need to tolerate all hard conditions, and we need to use what is available to achieve our great dream. So we need to know how to use simple things to achieve great targets. It's very important. We have great target, not to be upgraded, not to be upgraded. We have a lot of people carrying a PhD, but not all of them are professors. Not all of them can distribute science. Not all of them can support others. So we need to have uh, greater generations. We need to have leaders of tomorrow and leaders of today. So we need to know how to use simple things to achieve great targets. We need to think by using online mind, not offline mind. So the direction of the work will be the leader in our thinking, and our thesis will be leader of our not this running work, but future work, future publication. We need to avoid to be official. We need to have our creative thinking. We need to avoid local thinking because already we are inside the globe. I need not to be Egyptian. I need to be global person. I need to think internationally. So we need to do search. We need to do survey. We need to know what is done before to add. we need to have contribution to the science. Not only normal thesis for upgrading, no, but we need to have our contribution to the science. And also, I need to confirm that we need to have online mind, not offline mind. We need to have our great contribution to the science, not weak traditional work. And also, our work falls under our responsibility. So, we need to be ourselves during the work. And years of this thesis are years of our life. So, it's pended for learning. So, we need to be a great scientist in the future by our achievements. What about results? I'm trying to use letters of each part to have some rules. I'm trying to use letters of results, letters of introduction, letters of methodologies to have some important rules. We need to think about results now. What about results? Results is like as a mirror of our efforts. So, results is the reaction between all other parts of the work. We need to respect both negative and positive results. Negative result is a result. It means that please don't try this. Already I tried it and no results, no positive results obtained by using it, for example. So it looks like alarm. So negative results is also important. So we need to appreciate, don't change, don't cheat. We need to respect our own results. We need to avoid trying copy and paste results of others. We are not allowed to stick to other results because we need to be ourselves. I'm different, but I appreciate and respect this difference. If we will accept our differences, we will accept the differences of others. So it's not only thesis, it's not only written words, it's written word, yes, but written by our souls, written by our efforts. It will be the establishment of new successive works, leaded by these results in the running work. So it's the future. We are talking about the future. So we must be contributors. We must have our new results, not try to be similar to others, but try to be unique. Try to have your own contribution to the science. We need to have results. Those are useful for other followers. Must be useful for our followers. We are not thinking about ourselves. We need to think about followers because after carrying your PhD or your MSc and so on, you will be a professor within time. So you will have your scientific school. So you will be responsible on students. You will be supervisor. So we are talking about creation of leaders, not only how to write a thesis. No. What about its length? It must be long. It must be short. Uh, we need to ask ourselves about this point. It must be valuable, not carrying weak results. So it's not by number of words, it's by its value. So try to do it briefly, but carrying a value, carrying a value. We need to talk about it in an attractive manner. What about tables or figures? We need to use figures it will be better than using tables. We need to use short tables instead of small size tables, including many and huge amount of data. We need to use figures because figures and photos are better than many thousands of words. We need to support or correct our primary hypothesis. We need to encourage ourselves that we need to say, I discovered that my hypothesis can't be achieved. Why not? Why not? As I said before, appreciation of negative results. What about discussion? Discussion is the death or life of data. Death or life of data. So it must be informative. And it must be simple. And inside the discussion, we are doing comparative analysis of science, comparative analysis of results against others. I need to compare my results in the running work compared to others. It must be done in a very creative manner. What about useful or useless data? We are using and discussing the most important results. So we are not we are not commenting on useless data. We are highlighting the most important results inside discussion. We are swimming with our data and the data of others, our results and the results of others. So it must be informative and of great impact to our work if it will be done carefully. It includes new way of comparing our results with results of others. It will make our work stronger. So we need to compare our results with results of others. Not all results, but the most important results. Okay? We need to say that we agreed or disagreed, we have different results or not, and why. We need to express the reason, we need to describe the reason. For example, I'm working in the area of medicinal plants, green biotechnology and phytochemistry and so on. So when I need to say that, for example, this plant contains specific components, or for example, when I need to say that this plant contains, sorry, this
Yeah,
plant
you please continue. No issue. Questions will be answered at the end. Please continue.
okay, okay. When I need to say, for example, the plant contains 20 milligram of certain compound, okay? It means that this is related to my samples. Maybe in India it's different because there is something called the ecotype. The phytochemical composition is affected by the locality of the plant. For example, your Indian samples may contain less or more amount of the same compound. Maybe my samples will devoid this certain or specific compound. May be done because of different localities. This is the explanation of this result. For example, I found that the plant contains 20 milligram of specific compound. For example, quercetin. Okay, but in India you have 50. I have 20, but you have 50. Why? I need to say why. Because there is difference in the composition. This difference is related to ecotype, related to the place, different places. So different amounts of phytochemicals, and so on. You can do the same in your field or your area of science. What about conclusion? Conclusion is a takeaway message. So finally, before leaving, we need to conclude. We need to say 1, 2, 3, the most important messages. I need to send some messages and I need to highlight the most important messages. There is a difference between conclusion and recommendation. Okay. There is a difference between conclusion and the summary. In conclusion, we are saying the most important points and the most important messages. For example, we need to highlight the usage of such a plant because it will give us a safe biopesticide. For example, we need to highlight that it's not toxic, it's safe, and so on, based on our results, based on our study. We are not allowed to say something out of our study. For example, if we are not doing something like estimation of toxicology, I'm not allowed to say it's safe. Why? Maybe not, maybe safe, but I didn't do anything related to toxicology. I can't say it's non-toxic because I didn't do anything related to toxicology. Maybe I need to refer to it using review. It's okay. And so on. So inside the conclusion, we are sending the most important messages. We are not saying all things, but only the most important messages. 1 minute, please. Okay. Regarding the summary.
No, nothing. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay. Regarding the summary, we are using some of our VIB results. It's very important. I am trying to derive a rule from each word, from each letter. Okay. So regarding the summary, it's the sum of our VIB results. Okay. So we need to match our results with our VIB targets and describe results one by one in short sentences. We need to do arrangement of our results in a very important manner. We need to do regular arrangement of our results. It must be matched with material and methods. For example, I am trying to do phytochemical analysis. I started with estimation of certain compound. In methodology, I must have the same in results. I must have the same arrangement in discussion. Okay. So summary contains arranged results. Not all results, but the most important one. In some countries, we have two summaries, one in English and another one, for example, in our country, we have one in English and one in Arabic. Why? Because the summary is written to the society. It's the social part of the thesis. So we are directing our messages to our society. For this reason, we have two types of summary. We have Arabic one and English one. For example, I don't know what is done in India, but in our country, for example, we are using two languages for our summary. In summary, we have the yield of our thesis, yield of results. So summary is the fruitful part of our thesis because it contains our results described and arranged in very brief manner. Also, as I said before, it's not by it's not by counting words, it's not by long phrases, it's by VIB words. What about references? References, I'm calling it the chapter of ethics because it's a reflection of appreciation and respect to others. We are appreciating others. We are respecting their intellectual property rights because already, as you know, I have my PhD in science and I am academic staff member, but also I'm studying MSc in the area of IPR. So it's very important for me to say that references are chapters of ethics and appreciation of scientists and appreciation of efforts of others. So here we are highlighting others.
Ma'am, do you have any issue? Dr. Iman, do you have any issue? Dr. Iman, are you getting me, Dr. Iman? Is there any technical issue? I think she has lost the connection.
To refer, we need to mention name of author and we need to highlight the issue of
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Please present your screen.
okay, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, please present your screen.
Okay. I don't know what's problem.
No, I think
Okay, I'm coming. Downloading. Okay.
yeah, it's okay now. Please continue.
Okay. So sorry for interruption. I think
It's okay.
it's okay now. I need to repeat anything?
Yeah, I think from references you have to catch once again.
Okay. I'm coming. Okay. Let's start from the references. Okay. Inside the references, we are repeating. Okay, reference. We are repeating all references included in the above text in details. We have references inside introduction, no references inside title, for example, no references inside the abstract because it's related to us. So no references inside title, inside abstract, but there is a references inside introduction, inside methodology, inside the discussion, and also there is a references inside the, as I said before, review of literature and so on. We are collecting all of them in one chapter called references or bibliography and so on. It means efforts of others, so it's very important to refer to their data exactly. If I use any word from any source, I need to refer to the source to be honest with myself and to be honest with readers. Okay. Also, recent references is more favorite to us than older references, but sometimes we need to refer to pioneers. In some phytochemical studies, we need to refer to pioneers. So we need to refer to the origin. If I did any modification, I need to refer to that. This is the modified method of, and I need to refer to the basic author. Okay, I'm not the author in this case. For example, I modified a method, so I need to say it's a modified method of whom. Okay? As I said before and again, E of references means efforts of others. So I must appreciate, I must respect, I must highlight all that are related to the person. Recent is better than old. Okay, and we are sorry, we are doing recollection in all the text. Then we are reading it in chapter. Okay. Efforts of others. So it's a very important issue to mention their data carefully. We are not allowed to neglect. We must mention in all respect. We need to offer inside the references chapter, we need to offer complete and corrected data related to the author. As I said before, and I need to repeat, S is related to scientists. So we need to appreciate and we need to respect scientists and their efforts. So we must say all things in a complete manner. For example, inside references, suppose that you are using, for example, an article from published journal, for example. So we need to say what I need inside introduction, for example. I'm referring to only author and the year. It's okay between brackets. I'm saying, for example, Alam, 2020, for example. Inside the introduction or review of literature or discussion and so on. What about inside the reference chapter? I'm saying author or authors, okay, and the year and the name of the article and the name of the journal and volume and issue and the pages. You can arrange it according to the journal format or according to your university rules, because all faculty and all universities has different rules in arranging differences. Okay, so we need to have some fixed ideas, fixed data. For example, we are not allowed to ignore the author or authors, title or topic of the article and the title of the journal and volume, issue, year, and the pages. If we are using a reference from a book, for example, I need to refer to author or authors and the topic. And instead of title of the journal here, in this case, we are referring to the name of the publisher. Okay. And also the edition, for example, second, fourth, third edition, and so on. We need to refer to also year and the pages. Okay. What about thesis? If we are using any part related to any thesis, we need to refer to the author. Here, the author is not the supervisor. The author is the student. Okay, the author is the student. I need to mention the title of the thesis, department, faculty, and university, and government, and the country. And also, I need to refer to the year and the pages. As I said before, arrangement is very variable, but we need to refer to all this data. If this is from which university, which department, which faculty, and so on. If book, what is the publisher? If journal, what is the name of the journal, volume, issue, and so on. So we need to give you complete idea. If you are the reader of my thesis, I need to give you complete idea, not fake ideas, not misleading ideas. I need to refer to the main sources exactly. And now I reached to the final, but before finishing, I need to say one point. It's not only written words, it's efforts, it's appreciation, it's a supervision, and it's respect and acceptance of others and acceptance of ourselves. So, finally, try and error to learn. Try to be yourself. Appreciate all negative results as appreciate positive results, and stick to your goals. Don't give up. Don't leave up. We must appreciate others also. We must appreciate their efforts. We are not allowed to use words of others without mentioning their names, because in this case we are stealing their praise. Words are considered to be IPR, intellectual property rights. So we need to appreciate both tangible and intangible rights of others. It's not a car, it's not a home, but it's our press. So we need to appreciate others. We need to refer to the main source of our things. Also, we need to discuss carefully without saying I agreed and I'm not agreed. Okay, we need to be ourselves, as I said before. Thanks a lot. I'm very happy and grateful to all of you for your listen. And if there is any question, you will be most welcome. Thanks a lot for this great invitation, and thanks for your organization. I'm very happy to be with you. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much, Dr. Iman. Thank you
Thank
for your valuable insights. Really